Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish, and I hope that your first week of summer classes went great. So this is week 2. This is a second week lecture video for our Summer English 109 course. Just a quick update on housekeeping things. I am recording this as of Sunday, the night before assignments are due. So if you've not done the week 1 assignments, they are due tonight by 11:55 p.m. So make sure that you get those assignments in on time. Second, this video is going to basically go over the assignments for week 2. I'm going to do a brief overview about uploading in case if you missed it from week 1. I highly encourage you to please make sure that you watch each week's lecture video. I have had a couple students email me and ask questions that were answered in the week 1 lecture video, so I refer them back to that. So if you don't want to get referred back to this lecture video, just make sure that you watch it. You can always go back to YouTube and see it over and over again. But yeah, everything that probably needs to be answered is going to be answered in these videos. So just make sure you watch them each week. I will try to keep them as short as possible while still giving you plenty of information that is needed. So with that being said, I'm going to minimize this, and then we are going to go down here to assignments. I have it in student mode, so I'm seeing the exact same that you all are seeing. So as I stated last week, don't rely on this box here. Make sure to scroll down and you can see week 1 here. You will notice from week 1 that once you have an assignment complete, this box will be check marked. So there'll be a little check mark by it. With the discussion forum, if you did not submit your original post by Friday, this box won't be check marked, but that doesn't mean you don't need to submit it. You can still submit the discussion forum post Saturday or Sunday. I'm just going to take some points off on it because it's late. But still, make sure to do it because some points are better than none. Am I right? So let's go down to week 2. This week we have a couple of activities that are due. Our discussion forum is same thing as we did last week, just with a new topic. So if I click on my discussion forum here, I can go straight to the post, to the topic itself. All right, so the discussion forum topic this week is pretty simple. It's all just about brainstorming, about pre-writing, what's the hardest part for you, do we need specific details, explaining yourself. Again, it's just a very easy, doable discussion forum. And what I want from this week is that we kind of talk as a class about how we organize our thoughts. If making outlines is something new to you, you can talk about it in this post. You can say, hey, I'm not used to doing outlines. This is a totally new concept for me. And you can kind of walk your way through what that process is like. And chances are that somebody in this class is going to share an experience that you're having as you write. And that's what this week's discussion forum is all about. Just connecting, finding commonalities, things that we all have in common as we organize our thoughts into paper format. That's kind of just the overall goal of this week's discussion forum. And you can add posts by clicking this here, filling it out, and then submitting it. And then obviously responding to your 4 peers. At least, you can respond to more than that, absolutely. We also have 3 other assignments. So the textbook activity 2 is not different than what you did this last week with activity number 1. There's still these guidelines that you can download, and I'm going to pull them on up here. You'll see when it pulls it up into Microsoft Word that page 40 and 41 in our textbook, this activity is basically asking you, it's giving you a topic sentence and it wants you to put the details in the book in the correct order from most relevant to least relevant, or if it's a chronological order, put it in chronological order. The textbook explains how the ordering of the system goes, and that's kind of what this assignment is. So there's only 2 questions for this and all the little details, which basically amounts to you typing it out. So it's pretty simple. And then part 2 is on page 42 to 44, and that's where they give you a paragraph, like a short story, and they want you to detail what the topic sentences are and the supporting details. So the important thing about this is that you can basically find what the thesis or topic sentence is, which is the overarching point of the assignment, and that you can show how details support that. So if my topic sentence is, I am usually late to work on Mondays, my supporting details would be, I sleep through my alarm clock, I'm up late Sunday night. Those would be details that help support the claim It's kind of like the cause and effect of why things happen, which relates to our cause and effect paper. So that's a textbook assignment there. And then you'll notice we have our cause and effect paper is due by Sunday of week 2. So if you didn't see the guidelines, then make sure you go back to week 1 and double check the guidelines. Make sure you're 3 full pages, that it's double spaced, that you're addressing all the points that you need to. This is worth 50 points, so it is a nice chunk of the class dedicated to this one assignment. You must upload at least one file. So if I go to this little upload blue button here, it is going to ask me to choose a file. So when I click choose file, what it does is, as I explained in week 1, it saves all the files that I submit to this class, which is kind of cool because that means you can always go back and find those files, which is nice. But if I don't have the file I want saved here, if I do have the file I want, I can just click it here and it'll automatically select it. But if I want to pick something from my computer, I need to go here to this upload, pick it from my computer, and then it will upload through here first. And then once this insert button pops up, I can do insert and it will insert it for me to add. And then once I choose add file, it's going to submit it. I'll show you all. It will give me the option, if I'm finished, I can turn my writing assignment in. If I accidentally click the wrong file, I can edit it or I can delete it and add it again. So if you accidentally click the wrong file here, you can discard it and start all over again. But once you click this blue button, it's going to submit your paper. So if you accidentally click the wrong paper and submit it, then you need to email me and let me know, and I'll open up the assignment again for you. All right, so I'm going to just delete it because that's not what I want to do. All right, so that is the paper. So you have your discussion forum, the paper due Sunday, the textbook activities due Sunday, and then finally our very first grammar review, which if I look on the grammar review here, it is basically what I do with these is just taking grammar assignments from our textbook and then assigning them from you to see where we're weak at as a class, where our strong points are, and try to make sure that everybody's on the same page with grammar before we move on to English 122 or N121. So you'll notice in Activity 1, there are some sentences on page 420 to 422. I want you to tell me the subject, and I want you to tell me the verb. Now, this is very important. In the subject and verbs, subjects are just the nouns. They are nothing that describes the nouns. So if I put down here, like for number 1, if I put, let me enable it. If I put swans, like let's say my sentence is, the white swans of Willow Lake swim gracefully all day. All right. So what should be the answer is swans is my noun and swim is my verb. That should be it. Those are my noun, subject, and verb. Okay? You may be asking yourself, well, wait, why didn't you say white swans? Well, because white is an adjective. It's not a subject. It's describing a subject. And you may say, well, what? Oh, I meant to do this. You may say, well, why didn't you put lake? Because of Willow Lake is a prepositional phrase. It's a prepositional phrase. It is not a noun. It's just describing where the swans are at. It's not actually describing the swans, or it's not its own thing or subject of the sentence. It's just something extra. That's why it's a prepositional phrase. Anytime you see of or underneath or because of or throughout or some kind of connecting word, like right here, that's a sign that you're starting a prepositional phrase. We just want to know, what is this sentence about? What is the subject of the sentence? And this sentence is about swans. So they are the subject. And then swim is our only verb. It's the only word in here describing an action. You may say, what about gracefully? Gracefully is an adverb. It's describing how the swans swam, but you can't gracefully something. Yes, I'm going to go graceful down the sidewalk. You just can't do it. It's just describing the way in which something happens. So you can gracefully fall or gracefully swim or gracefully walk, but you can't just gracefully. So anytime you see an ly word, usually that is an adverb, and that is not part of the action happening in the sentence. And then all day just describes the time. So yeah, your answer should be something like number 1 here, just swans and swim. You don't need any extra words. I will count off if you put extra words. So just don't do that. All right. And that's pretty much all these numbers 1 through 10 and 1 through 10 on the second part here. And then below on pages 430 to 431, they're going to give you part of a sentence and they want you to complete it. And you can complete it however you want as long as it makes sense. And then down here, this activity, you're rewriting the sentences from being multiple sentences into one complete sentence and rewriting and changing fragments. So the grammar assignment is a little bit more creative and a little bit more tenacious than the textbook activity, but we are going to do 5 total grammar assignments and 5 total textbook activities in this class. So this will be the first of those. And they are worth 30 points, so they are worth quite a bit. So just take your time on it, and you should be fine. All right, but that's the grammar assignment. So yes, as far as our assignments go this week, it's mainly just doing the grammar activity, the textbook activity, and your paper number 1. All 3 of those are due Sunday, and then your discussion forum post is due Friday. Your responses are due Sunday as well. What I do each week is that if you did not submit assignments throughout the week, but you did log on, I will send you an email and what we call a drop notice, which basically means I will starfish that you've not completed assignments for the week, which means that you'll get a notification from the college asking if everything's all right, if you're having trouble with anything. But if you don't do assignments for 2 weeks in a row in this class, then I do drop you, and I do not let you back in unless you have a C or higher. So just don't let that happen to you. I know that it's the first couple of weeks of class. Maybe you've been on vacation. Maybe something's been happening there. But just this first breathing room, as long as you've logged in this first week by Sunday night, I will keep you in the class and give you kind of a week to catch up. But note that if you don't do anything the second week, then you are dropped from the class. If you're having trouble uploading files or if you're having trouble emailing, you can always take your phone and instead of texting to a number, you can text to my email and it will send it just like a text message if you're having trouble. And I can communicate with you one-on-one through that basis. But this is an online-based class. So if you are having technical difficulties, you need to reach out to me, maybe come to my office, sit down, we can go over how to do things. Maybe if your computer's acting up, bring it on campus and take it to IT to look at. There are definitely ways that you can help yourself to make sure that you're on track and that everything's going all right in the course. But yeah, so that's pretty much all for week 2. So far, everybody's done a great job on week 1 of getting assignments turned in on time. And so far, all of the cause and effect writing preps that I've looked at so far look great. They seem like they will create wonderful papers, and so I'm excited about that. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. I am always willing to answer questions and help out the best way that I can. But this video will be posted along in our announcements section right here, alongside our week 1 lecture video. So please make sure that you watch it this week. Go back and review this one if you haven't watched it, and just stay tuned each Sunday for the next week's video to be posted. All right, I hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to you all very soon.